guys, Claire here, and in today's video, we're going to talk about all things Harry and Meghan. On Thursday night, Duchess Meghan enjoyed a night out with friends during a surprise visit to New York City. The Duchess looked glamorous in a black collared blouse and a black and white houndstooth skirt from Carolina Herrera. Meghan's rare night out included grabbing a bite to eat with friends at the Polo Bar before heading to Broadway to watch the incomparable Audra McDonald revival of Gypsy. We were lucky enough to see lots of behind-the-scenes smiles, photographs, and videos of the Duchess meeting the cast.
Wow.
In a 2023 interview for Vanity Fair, Audra McDonald named the Duchess as one of the people she most admires. She's quoted as saying, "I don't know how she continues to walk through this world with the grace, strength, and purpose that she does, given the unbearable amount of vitriol and hate she's been subjected to, but she does. I wish she didn't have to." So wonderful seeing Meghan just being surrounded by people who love her and support her. Audra posted about it on her Instagram saying, "Thank you, dear Meghan. It was a joy having you spend the evening with us at Gypsy on Broadway." Meghan wasn't the only one that was there. I believe Tracy and her husband, the CEO of Paramount, Nate Berkus and his husband, and Victoria Jackson was also there. So it was a night out with friends that ended in smiles and photographs. Love that for her. HRH, the Duke of Thomason on X said, "Royalty meeting royalty. This Broadway legend has been loudly defending and supporting Meghan for years. Even when being on Meghan's side exposed people to abuse from the tabloids." And that's true. Besides the 2023 Vanity Fair article, Audra had been defending Meghan while she was in the throes of being dragged by the UK tabloids during her pregnancy with Prince Archie. So it's wonderful to see that full circle moment, that hug. You can almost feel the emotion and mutual respect just looking at that hug. Beautiful.
Okay, but how is it that I go to see Gypsy just the other day and I realized that I love it, of course, but then also that I've been talking about Meghan Markle here on the talk, and then also did I say that right, by the way? And also that I bought all her products, right? I bought all of the As Ever products, minus those flower sprinkles. And guess what? Meghan Markle was in the audience the night I went to see Gypsy. Wow. Full circle moment.
While Meghan is in New York, her podcast is continuing to climb the charts. As I'm recording this video, it's number 2 in the top shows overall on Apple, still at number 1 under the business category, and over on Spotify, which I really haven't been using Spotify lately, but it's number 2 on the business category and number 10 overall.
I'm such a huge fan of Meghan Sussex. I really am. I love her. She's brilliant. I've just been listening to her new podcast, the episode 1 of the podcast, The Evolution of the Entrepreneur, with Bumble's Whitney Wolfe Herd. And it was an absolute delight. That's all I can say. It was just such a delightful listen. They talk about the pressure of launching a business in the public eye amidst skeptics and haters, a media willing for them to fail so that they have something to write about. It was fascinating. You could tell that these two were really good friends. They had so much in common. It was just really nice to listen to two really strong ladies talking about their lives and talking about some of the pressures. They both shared some sort of intimate details. The fact that both of them developed preeclampsia after giving birth. And I mean, that was a surprise because that was something obviously that, the public didn't know as far as Meghan was concerned. I think interviewing people is really in Meghan's wheelhouse. I think she's so good at it. She's so articulate. She's so soothing. Her voice is great. She's got a really good voice for radio and podcasting. I think if you're a woman trying to build a business right now, there were some really useful insights from both ladies. Winnie had some really interesting things to say about the sacrifice that's required when you have children at the same time as trying to build a business. I forgot to mention, one of my favourite parts of the interview was actually when they were swapping their horror stories, their shared horror stories in terms of the media and how the media has treated both of them, really, and how it ended up making them stronger because they had to make the decision to either just hide permanently or actually get up and do something. And I really appreciated the insights from both of the ladies when it came to that. And I liked that Whitney really felt for Meghan in terms of what she'd been through and vice versa. One of the things I really loved about the podcast was how there was no mention of Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. The branding was all Meghan. No mention of her connections with the royals at all, because I think she understands that she's outgrown those people in England and she's outgrown all of that. She's come through the fire. She's building something massive and they're just left in the past where they belong. And I love that for her. So much positivity. And I know that the haters are going to absolutely loathe every minute of it, even though they will be listening because they can't help themselves.
In the last video, we talked about the fact that Prince Harry was in the UK for his protection case, and we've yet to hear what the official decision is. But in the meantime, there's an article from The Telegraph stating Prince Harry, police protection was withdrawn to trap me in the royal family. Duke tells The Telegraph his worst fears have been confirmed by secret evidence heard in the court over security. And I've always maintained from the jump that the decisions that Charles made to strip away the security, to take away Frogmore and all of the other stuff, has been all about control and punishment. They can't control Harry from dropping the court cases, so they punish him. They were no longer able to control Harry and keeping him and Meghan and Archie in the UK, so they punish him. Control and punishment. I'm not surprised. When it comes to the court case, can I be frank for a minute? I don't trust these people. I do not trust these people. And I know Harry is fighting for access for better security. And I do believe that he is more than entitled to it. He is the son of the king. But more than that, he was born into a family where he had no say, to the fact that for all of his life, he has been an asset for that institution. From his birth, paraded around like Simba on the hospital steps, for all to see, all to consume. No point in that man's life did he really have the opportunity to just be without the expectation of putting on a show and having unfettered access to him from the press or being used by that institution or family. So he deserves that security. Meghan deserves that security. Their children deserve that security, especially with the way that the press and the palace has constantly sort of dredged up this tsunami of hate towards Harry and Meghan for years. They deserve it. But I don't trust these people. I just don't. So I pray for them. I pray for their safety. And that's where I'm going to leave that.
Prince Harry was in court this last week, and he says that he believes the removal of his security was a calculated effort to force him and Meghan back into the royal fold. People say that they don't believe him on that, but history proves him right. His mother died because she didn't have proper security. Charles, of course, knows that. Therefore, we can only assume that he was hoping one thing would happen when he took away Harry and Meghan's security. And I think we all know what that thing is.
Family, real quick. This thing about Prince Harry and fighting for proper protection in the UK is mind-boggling to me. Let me say how the media is covering it and all the pundits that have so much to say about it. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, he and Meghan Markle, Sussex, have been the focal point of British media for the last 8 years. So God forbid anything happens to any of them. How would you survive? Like a bad Bravo housewife, you have no other storyline. Because the Wales and the other working royals are barely covered. Yet Harry and Meghan sustain your economy. So if you can't even be a true royalist because he is the son of the king, to give him his proper protections, right? Then at least be greedy and self-serving and protect him, because protecting him and his survival ensures your bottom line. And by the way, people that justify the sovereign granting this increase, saying that the royal family brings in an exorbitant amount of money each year, how much of that is attributed to articles about Harry and Meghan?
The king received a long-standing ovation from parliamentarians in Rome as he gave a speech on the third day of his state visit to Italy. I'll carry on reading, but why I find this so fascinating is because at this very same moment, I believe in the UK, Harry, as in Prince Harry, is going through an appeals process for the downgrading of his security while he's in the UK. Nothing says deadbeat father more like, hey, Dad, please don't take my security away or put me at a great risk when I come to the UK. And he's like, well, take it up with the court, girlies. I'm off to Italy. You could have done that at any other time. You're trying to tell me that there was no other time that you could have gone to address both houses in Italian parliament. It had to be the date. It had to be the date that your son is in the UK fighting for his life, quite literally. You said no. Like, even when, and it makes so much sense what he said on Oprah, that, you know, you'll call your dad, he'll air you. He's not responding to you because the firm says he cannot. So the firm made sure firmly that he was out of the country when you came through to come and do your little appealsy process. They're downgrading the security because they're just like, yeah, it's open season on his Clark. But it's so deadbeat to me that the reason that you are not in the UK whilst I'm doing all of this is because you are with the mistress that you married in Italy, talking about democracy when you are part of the monarchy. Oh, Charles is raggedy. But anyway, let's get back to him avoiding his son and being a deadbeat dad.
Soon after leaving the UK, the Duke made a surprise visit to the Superhumans Center in Ukraine. It's a world-class, state-of-the-art facility which provides rehabilitation, reconstructive surgery, and psychological care for those affected by the war. The Duke traveled to Ukraine with friends from the UK Invictus community, where they toured the facility, meeting with patients and medical staff to witness the incredible treatment offered to soldiers, civilians, and children who have endured life-altering injuries. The Duke and the Invictus delegation reconnected with members of the Ukrainian Invictus team community. Towards the end of the visit, the Duke joined the surgical team in the operating theater, where he observed a live surgery, gaining direct insight into the complex procedures that are playing a vital role in the recovery of patients. The visit concluded with a gathering of patients, medical staff, family members, and the Ukrainian Invictus Games team, followed by an award ceremony for those who participated in the Superhuman Sports Day competition.
Harry continues to go from strength to strength. One day is in the High Court in the UK, fighting for the right level of protection for him and his family. Funny that Prince Andrew still gets protection. He's not a working royal, but Harry doesn't. Anyway, that's another story. The next day is in Ukraine, continuing the amazing work for Invictus. And this guy, Harry, must literally work most days every year to keep Invictus going. It's a massive international event now, and the drain of keeping that going must be immense. But like his mum Diana, he's still with the people that count. The victims, the innocent victims of war, listening to their stories, showing them that he cares about them and their future. Not about the past. What's your future going to be? How can Invictus help you? Hats off to Harry. I haven't got a hat on, but you know what I mean.
It's funny how people, when you speak about the good and bad, what certain people have done within the royal family, romanticizing this relationship is kind of make you forget all the bad that Charles did and what the Queen did and what the family did, because obviously he was forced to marry this innocent girl, Diana, at the time. She was a teenager. I think he was in his late 30s, 40s at that point. And he was obviously he was dating Camilla before, but she was considered too old to bear an heir, because it's all about the heir. You know, that's what the woman's role is in the royal family. And obviously they're romanticizing this 50-year love affair. It feels like they're erasing Diana from and all the bad that happened. I mean, Charles spoke against his family. He did interviews, books were written. He calls his mother cold, he calls it strict, whatever. They didn't have a good, very close relationship in that sense. And then obviously with Camilla, the affair that was happening, If you haven't heard about Tampon Gate, just Google it. This is the future king speaking to his lover, you know. So many bad things happened that it's kind of like erased because it was a 50-year love affair. So, you know, if you're going to talk about other members of the family and what they did in the past, then you should talk about these guys as well. Stop putting these people up on a pedestal.
I'm currently away, but I have tried to make time to listen to Meghan Sussex's new podcast. I absolutely love it, and I will urge you, if you are trying to set up a business, a luxury brand, whatever it may be, please go and have a listen, particularly if you are a woman. For me, I love the way the podcast started with adverts. I love the jingle. I love the jingle. And I love her first selection. What I've listened to so far with Whitney, I love what they spoke about. They spoke about business, they spoke about motherhood. And I'm going to be breaking it down bit by bit because everything they spoke about actually applies to me. And I never would have thought it in a million years.
All right, so today's the day I'm finally off and I get to try the lemon ginger tea by, of course, Meghan Sussex, and I'm so excited. A lot of you may not know this, but I was actually born in the UK, and so tea is like my thing. Meghan has so graciously put instructions on the back and left us a little note. It reads, I've been making a soothing tincture of lemon and ginger for many years. This beautiful tea blend simplifies the process so you can enjoy it fuss-free. Just add water and savor it anytime, as ever. Meghan. For me, it's all about the little details and I'm loving it. Listen, I can't drink tea without adding honey, so I'm all about the honey. And while the tea steeps, let's bring out our as ever raspberry spread and let's add it to some toast. I will say the tea was pretty good. I didn't even have to add sugar. I feel like, you know, when you take that sip of tea and it gives you that like warm hug feeling? Yeah, it was pretty good. Very flavorful. And I will be buying more. Message to Meghan is please restock very soon because I really need that cookie mix. Thank you.
You kind of want to like do a happy dance for your products and send them out the window because like that happy energy is going to land in someone's kitchen counter and you want that for them.
Launching a business, it can be so overwhelming. For example, a month ago, I was absolutely consumed with packaging. Boxes. That's all I could think about. And I would sit there doing the unboxing in my head. Is there tissue paper? What about the packing peanuts? But they're biodegradable. And where does the sticker go? And hold on, and what size the box is going to be? And no, that's not going to fit all the SKUs.
Kind of like just shake it off.
Yeah, and to infuse the joy into it.
Just
like go
joy.
back to the why. The why of it all was always in the spirit of sharing something that I love.
I personally love a lifestyle brand. I worked in branding prior to this, and I love, as a small business owner, as somebody who works in that realm-ish at a much smaller scale, I love seeing what other people are doing in the lifestyle space, particularly when it comes to product, especially when it comes to e-commerce. I also personally used to read the TIG back like in, I think like college and like my early 20s when I was living in New York City. I loved the content. I thought it was really interesting. I also just watched Suits at that time as well. So that's kind of, I think, how I originally heard about it. Anyway, so it's cool to see kind of how that blog kind of translated into this lifestyle brand in a lot of ways and how things have changed and also how they've stayed the same in that. So moral of the story is I was really interested in the packaging and that experience from the moment that I saw it on my porch to opening it, to seeing all the products, to seeing the packaging of the products, to trying the products themselves. This is a little bit of a roundup of what is in the box and what I thought as somebody roughly in that world. Okay, so this is the outside of the box. I am just blocking my address on here, but I love this sticker and I will explain why in 1 second. Okay, so this is a very specific thing that I know from shipping tons and tons of products out. Particularly, we sell a lot of glassware. Open with care is genius because it doesn't say fragile. Because if you have a fragile sticker on boxes and something breaks in transit, a lot of times your shipping insurance will not cover it. Okay, so this was on the top of the box. Nice little logo. Love the paper itself. And on the back, it just says, enjoy. Signed, Meghan. As a fellow Catholic school girly, love her handwriting. And I respect anybody who really just goes the extra mile with their handwriting. And I think it's great. It's very much like it's the through line through all of the products. It's even on the tape on the different products. But love that this was right on the top. Okay, so I already unboxed this, but this is when you open the box, this is what it looked like. I love the tissue color selection. I love the sticker on it. The way that this was folded over, so this was folded this way, and then there was there's a piece of tissue that goes under it with this on the outside. The packing peanuts are smart. I know people don't usually like them, but fun fact, they're actually very, very smart from a sustainability perspective because you can run these underwater and they will disintegrate. So yeah, love the packaging. I think it's really pretty, but it also isn't like over the top either, which I think is smart. And the reason I think it's smart that packaging isn't over the top is because the packaging for the individual products speaks to the brand itself. This is what people are opening. And it's always a really fine like song and dance between what do you do to make the package look really special so that when somebody's opening it, it emphasizes this is a lifestyle brand. This is what the brand is representing. But at the same time, you really want to make sure you're putting your investment of that brand and of the money and everything into the physical products themselves. Because at the end of the day, everyone's throwing out that box. So I think this was really smart. And so this is what I got. So I got the shortbread cookie mix with the flour sprinkles. I'm really excited to make these with my son. I think he's going to have a really good time. We love making cookies together. Each of the boxes has a little note from her on the side that's specific to the individual product. The directions on the back are great. I also have to say, this is so specific, but the instructions are in a larger font than on a lot of boxes of food. And I just think that's really smart. And I love that there's the pictures on it and everything. But in general, I really respect the size of the font. I got the crepe mix. I'm so excited to make these. Very excited. And again, I love the note on the side. And then I also have the tea, but I'll show you that in 1 second. Okay, and I have been drinking the peppermint tea tonight. This is the little tin it comes in. I think it's really, really cute. It looks pretty on a counter. I love that you could keep it in. It's easy to store in your cabinet, but it's also would look pretty on a counter. Again, like all of the products, it has a little note from her on it. And then there's really pretty instructions. Again, I gotta say, I really respect the size of the font. It's very legible. It's big. There's a lot of spacing throughout. The design is fantastic. In general, I'm really excited I got these. That is my review on this. Like I said, very excited to make the shortbread cookies for a little afternoon tea moment with my little guy.
Just thought I'd share, if you're inspired by the whole Meghan Markle idea of treating your friends and guests, I thought I'd share, you don't have to spend too much. You can do so with what you have. So I have girlfriends coming in today for just a quick trip to the area, and thought to have this set up waiting for her when she lands so that she can have a bite to eat before she just gets settled. So just wanted to say, you've got Meghan Markle at home.
My as ever order has just arrived. I wanted to get a couple more things, but everything sold out so quickly. It says open with care in Meghan's handwriting and calligraphy, which I think is the sweetest little detail. Let's see what this is. Oh, this is lovely. Okay, so right off the bat, we have a little card. As ever, enjoy, Meghan. I'm such a fan of how things are packaged just in general across the board. That's always been one of my weaknesses, and the unboxing experience for someone who only got 2 things, and again, this wasn't gifted, this is pretty charming. All right, let's see what we got in here. I feel like I have to be delicate with the paper. Okay, so this is the As Ever shortbread cookie mix. And on the side, it says, let's call this a hug in a box. I fell in love with the ritual of tea and biscuits during my time in the UK. Rolled in edible flour sprinkles and dipped in tea, these shortbread cookies make for a cozy afternoon or unexpected treat any time of day, as ever, Meghan, which is just such a delightful addition. It's like adding a story to the product. And then the preserves is so charming. Now, if that's not an unboxing experience, I don't know what is. The as ever raspberry spread, everybody. And it has the logo. Love the pop. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. Okay, I need a spoon. I don't want to try too much of this because I do want to bake with it. Someone was suggesting, because I got the cookie mix, maybe doing like a thumbprint cookie situation. But I do want to try it because it smells delicious. There we go. Let's grab a little bit. That is so flavorful. That's so good. Love it. Okay, is it cheating if I just take it? I can take it from the lid. Then I really am sticking to like a tiny taste. Oh, that's good. I'm like, this might be too good for cookies. For the cookies, it says all I need is 1 cup unsalted softened butter. So basically 2 sticks of butter, which I already have. I thought I was going to need eggs, which is perfect, especially with, you know, the price of eggs nowadays. And I'll do some of it with the jam, although I just want to like eat the jam. I should have gotten 2. I know this was a long way of saying that this was absolutely charming. It's here. Congratulations, Meghan. This is awesome.
Earlier in the video, we talked about Prince Harry's visit to Ukraine, and while there, the Duke was gifted a Easter basket with pasha. Forgive me if that's the wrong pronunciation, but it's made from flour from de-mined fields. And this gift basket was given to the Duke from the Minister of Economy of Ukraine. Now that Harry's back home, Meghan recently posted a video showing the family enjoying the items from that basket, and the minister took to the internet to express her gratitude. The minister's initial message read, "Your Royal Highness, I would like to express my sincere gratitude for everything that your family is doing for Ukraine and for helping us draw the world's attention to humanitarian demining in Ukraine. Demining will allow millions of displaced Ukrainians to return home and allow thousands of children to go to school without fear. This means so very much to us." A remarkable group of women who live in a border region affected by landmines have prepared this Easter bread for you and your family. Today, they, along with all of us, are deeply moved knowing that this symbolic offering of Easter bread made from flour harvested from demined fields will be on your table. And yes, it was indeed on their table. And I do notice that you'll see Harry and Meghan often using the gifts that were given to them and to the children later on, which I think is a really sincere touch. After Meghan posted the video of the family enjoying the Easter bread, the minister responded by saying the whole team is just crying because a pastry made by grandmothers, made from flour from demined fields, is now on the table of Meghan, Harry, and their family. How sweet.
Hello, Mom. Breakfast time. Go.
Thank you.
A very special thank you to Ingrid S. Ingrid, I'm so sorry for the delayed response. I only 2 days ago saw what you had sent for me, that wonderful message and the sweet thank you that you sent the end of last month, and I only saw it 2 days ago, so I'm so sorry, but thank you so very much. I truly appreciate it. Also, a special shout out to E.B. Lynn and Hillary D. Hi Hillary, hi E.B. Lynn. Thank you guys so much for your love and support. I always try to put a thank you or a note, whether it's a super thanks or a buy me a coffee or a PayPal. I'm very appreciative of all of you for finding value in my content, for tuning in. Thank you guys so much. You have no idea how much it means to me. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, hit that notification bell.